Good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. Oh gosh, it's taken me so long to sit down and get the nerve up to record a video about my experience with this, but boom, here it is. So, I moved to San Francisco. Yay! I moved to San Francisco in October from Nashville, Tennessee, what I call home, Nashville, woo woo. Yeah, so a black girl. I moved to San Francisco with no friends or family here. Took a leap of faith and started my life in California. So, how did I decide on San Francisco? Really, what happened was I always knew that I wanted to live in California, and I never limited myself as to where in California I wanted to live. I just always knew from young, from when I was a little girl, that when I saw California on the map, I was like, I want to go over there and see what they doing. so so yeah, I didn't necessarily choose San Francisco. I kind of just took a leap of faith after the pandemic. I was like, well, life is short, and like, why am I here? Nothing's tying me down. I'm not happy here, so I wanted to take a leap of faith and do something different, change my life, and change my life is what I did. So around like the beginning of 2021, I really like intentionally sat down, got my like resume and things together, to make myself, I guess, more presentable, as I again was intentionally stepping out on faith and putting out job applications everywhere. I started with a search on Indeed, kind of just searching like HIV in any city in California. I also looked like in Vegas and Arizona, some other places, but really I knew California, like I said, is where I wanted to be. So I put all these applications in, probably like 30. I'm exaggerating probably, but it was a lot. It was a lot of applications. I put in all the applications. My resume was real cute. I had a creative one and like a professional one because I work in nonprofit, so that's acceptable. But anyway, I got my resumes together, my cover letters, followed up with emails, and made sure that people know that like I was serious about wanting to join teams. And so this is like early 2021, and around, I think it was April, May of 2021, I got a call back from an agency here in San Francisco, and I started interviewing. I knew it was the right fit for me from off jump. Like when they first emailed me, they were like, yeah, we're interested in you and we want to bring you in for an interview, what have you. So we scheduled a a virtual interview to just see, what I was about, and for me to see, what they were about. And everything really like happened very, very quickly, from when they emailed me about an interview to, second and third interviews, and then to them offering me a position. So yeah, I got offered a position with the San Francisco AIDS Foundation, which is really like a historic part of the HIV movement from like the early 80s. It came about when, AIDS came along, and people needed a place, to advocate for them, where they could get services, find support amongst one another, and the whole like. So it was one of the first organizations to, service people living with HIV. And I really do feel honored to be in a space where, excuse me, honored to be in a space where I can do such meaningful work. I've been doing HIV work since, I think, 2014, 2015, so maybe about 8 years now. And it's really, I stumbled upon it, but it really is passion work. And I have really enjoyed doing this work for these many years, and I really anticipate doing it for much longer. Yeah, so I'm working with the San Francisco AIDS Foundation, and here I will be building programming for women living with HIV, specifically Black women. I've done HIV work before, as I've already mentioned, and I started in the prevention, education, advocacy space for same gender loving men of color. And that was so fun. I really enjoyed like the prevention space and being able to talk to all kinds of people. We used to do like college campuses and clubs and yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. But here at the AIDS Foundation, I'll be creating programming for Black women, which, you know, historically the AIDS Foundation has not really like done much for. There's been no specific programs that are tailored for Black women, and so this is a huge like undertaking. It's such a huge responsibility for me to bring together Black women in community here in San Francisco and like foster relationships amongst people and amongst organizations that already exist here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah, I really just want to be a conduit. I want to bring people together. I want other Black women here to know that, you know, there is community for us, and we already exist in community amongst each other, like on a micro level. But I really want to make sure that there is space for Black women living with HIV and at risk for HIV here in San Francisco. Yeah, so I basically took a leap of faith. It really, really, really was a leap of faith because I came out here with my last paycheck from my other job, and when I first got hired, like I worked remotely for the foundation and for my other position in Nashville. I worked both jobs full time at the same time for a month, just so I could have those extra funds where I'd be able to have at least a little bit of something when I came out here. But really all I had was my last paycheck. I had to look up, housing online, and shoot, people are shady online when trying to find housing. Like, people will scam you, and I almost got scammed, but thank God he didn't let it happen. But what was I talking about? Yeah, housing, trying to find housing was really like the hugest feat, because San Francisco is one of the most expensive places to live in the country. It definitely showed when it came to my housing search. And transparently, I didn't make a lot of money in Nashville, and my financial situation has not been the best, and I really honestly have been struggling while I was in Tennessee. And yeah, so when I came out here, I didn't really have savings. I don't have savings. I didn't have savings. I didn't have anybody to help support me. I really had to do everything on my own. While I had moral support from family and friends and those people whom I confided in about how hard the process was, I didn't have anything but me, myself, and my last paycheck. My little car, we packed up my little car. When I left Tennessee, actually, I hadn't even found housing yet. I spent a month in Texas with my mom and sister because I needed to find housing before I came out here. And I was telling them, listen, I will live in my car. I'm leaving Tennessee. I don't plan to come back to live. I'm leaving, honey. I told them, if I have to live in my car, I will. That's how determined I was to leave that space and to, I don't know, just leap. That leap of faith that I was talking about. A lot of things I still had questions about, and I didn't have answers to. I didn't know where to live, or I didn't know anything. I had no idea about anything. I had never been to San Francisco prior to me like riding my little car over the lines. I had never been here. So like I said, everything was done on the computer and in the Zoom space and all kinds of things like that. But I had to find everything on my own. I came out here with no money. I was fortunate to be able to find the apartment that I did find at the 9th hour, because I secured my lease maybe like 2 days before I got here. 2 days before I touched down in San Francisco, I had not had an apartment to live in. And like I said, I was fortunate to find the apartment that I'm in, brand new building, modern, and in a city that's that's expensive, but the apartment complex is fairly affordable. Like, and it's 5 minutes away from my job. I can take the bus system. Public transportation here is plentiful. So yeah, I can not drive my car. I can take public transportation and be at work in like 7 minutes. So yeah, the place that I found was close and convenient to all those things, like grocery stores and anything that I would need. It's really right here where I'm at. And I really call that God, because I didn't really want to stay like where I'm at, because it's a co-living situation, and you have roommates and that whole kind of thing. And I really was like, I want to live alone. Excuse me, which I still do. Like, I definitely want to live alone. But I had to understand that, like, I had to take small steps in order for me to be able to, secure myself more financially before I was able to handle such a responsibility as living alone in an expensive city like San Francisco. But yeah, I feel like I was all over the place in this video. I took a leap of faith, y'all. I really prayed hard, cried hard, and I really had a struggle with taking this leap. I have a fear of the unknown, which I know a lot of people do. I'm a type of person who likes to have everything planned out and like have an idea about things. And I had none of that. I had nothing. I had nothing planned out other than the fact that I had the determination to move. Like, I really needed to move, and it came at the most perfect time, like at the start of my 30th year of life. I started my 30th year of life like in this leap of faith journey, which I'm still on, because I've only been here in SF since October. So just, a few months, and I haven't found friends and stuff here yet, but, I'm making it. I'm excited about being here, and the most important thing was me getting here and being able to find somewhere to live and just be able to go to work and do what I love to do every day. But yeah, as a Black girl here in San Francisco, I can say that I've seen more people of color than anything. That includes like other people color like Asians and Latinx individuals and etc. Black people. I've seen more people of color than anything, but I will say there's not a lot of Black people here in San Francisco, and if there are, like, they're in pocket neighborhoods where they're not really mixing and mingling with the larger San Francisco, group. So I've been spending some time like getting to know the city. I've joined a few like community organizations, a few community boards that are filled with people who are Black in San Francisco. And I'm learning a lot about Black San Francisco, learning a lot about what I can move and shake here. I really am so excited to be here. I'm blessed to be here. I could be living in my car, but like I said, God didn't say that would be so. So yeah, leap of faith. If you could take a leap of faith, do it. if you have the opportunity to, you're not tied down to anything and you want to move, do it. Like, do it. You will not regret. You will not regret it. I don't regret a thing about this process. I'm grateful to have had supportive parents who gave me moral support, cheered me on. My sister, my brothers, you know, they've been supportive. My grandmother, she's been supportive. I can really say that my family's been supportive of me in this move because they saw how bad I wanted it and how bad I needed it. I really needed to have gotten out of Tennessee because I have struggled with depression and I have struggled with trying to find my place and do, you know, what I meant to do. I'm still on a journey to find out like what exactly I'm meant to do, but I know that by me leaving home and coming here, that is the best step that I could have taken. And so I'm blessed. Shout out to God. Yeah, like I said, I feel like I'm rambling and I don't want to go on and on. And this is my first video, so send me some questions if you have any questions for me. I'd love to do like a Q&A. So maybe I'll put a thingy on my Instagram about like Q&A. Ask me some questions, but I live in California, y'all. How weird is that? That's 5. Be blessed.